So let's switch over to the B-size layout. Once again, right click, use Page Setup Manager here to import from a previous drawing the page setup, and in your current drawing, select the page setup and set it current. There we go. Take a look at your layers, turn on that viewport layer, and once again, to set up the views, we're going to reposition. We're going to double click into the viewport, zoom extents. Now, you'll notice this should be our top view, right? And the only problem with this is that before we lay out all the views, we should have the correct orientation in the model space of the solid. So before I continue here, return to the model and take a look at the orientation here, right? This is the top view. Here's the isometric view, and if we switch to a right view there, here's what we could do. We could simply rotate it 90 degrees now. So if I use rotate command, select my solid, use 0, 0 as the origin, right? Now we can just rotate it 90 degrees. Now it's oriented correctly in space. If I return to the layout here, now you can see this is what I expect for my top view. Zoom extents, and then set the scale there. We've got a scale of 2:1 for this drawing. All right, and this is my top view. So, using modeling, solid view, O for ortho, we're going to project the bottom into this area right here, hit enter, clip the viewport, there we are, and then we'll give it a name. And then let's exit the command so that we could return to the paper space here and reposition the temporary viewport here. And we can set this to an ISO view. Now we can expand the viewport again, and we don't have to have this to a particular scale, but we probably want to increase the display there to make sure we can see the details. Now, returning back to the front view here, let's go ahead and use Sole View again. O for ortho, and project this side of the viewport into this area here. Hit enter, clip the viewport, and give it a name. Exit the command, and once again we have this situation where our drawings disappeared, but double click into any of the viewports, zoom extents, reset the scale, lock the viewport and go to the next one, zoom extents, set the scale, and then lock that viewport. Okay. Again, you'll want to set up your layer properties, so use your filters for that, and then return to do the sole draw and the sole prof. Okay, now coming back here to use solid drawing here, I'm going to select the solid viewports, hit enter to render those views, and coming over here to the isometric view, I'm going to activate the viewport so I can use the solid profile command, select the solid model, hit enter, and accept all of the prompts there. We'll come back to the layer manager and freeze for this viewport the 3D layer. Okay, so once again, just make sure you're in the correct layer for each view as you do your dimensioning. Once you're done with the dimensioning, make sure you freeze those viewports. Then go ahead and update your title block and save your model. Alright, and this is the corner pin, and that completes the modeling of the parts for the fixture assembly. In the next video series, we'll take a look at assembling the fixture assembly model. We'll be working with tables, we'll be working with multi-leader callouts, we'll create a collapse and exploded assembly view.